All right, so this is week 9 of prep. Again, not too much changes between each week. So, wonder what I'm like blathering on about all the time. But anyways, this week just had a simple drop in calories for my macros and my macros. So I'm now down to 1595 calories a day and still maintaining the 125 grams of protein. So yeah, other than that, my workouts are the same and I'm aiming to get 10,000 steps a day and trying to keep up those good habits that have been building up over these past few weeks of prep. So in the spirit of that, I think I've gotten my routine pretty down now, especially with my return back to work and figuring out like how to just handle and prepare everything. So I'm going to do a day in the life of. This is a day in the life of my prep, and it's a pretty this is pretty much my daily routine during the weekdays and kind of what I try to keep to as much as I can on the weekends. And I think now that I've gotten a couple weeks of work under my belt, I've kind of figured out my routine. Every morning my kids wake up anywhere between 5 and 6 a.m. and they are my alarm clock. So when they get up is when I get up, and I just get them ready for the day. We drink some milk, change clothes, and then that's when I will then do my thing and get ready. I have a nanny who comes at 7 and she finishes up the kids' morning routine. So they eat breakfast and then she takes them to school. So during that time is when I can start to really prepare everything I need for the day. So I will, since I've now committed to bringing all my food to work that I've prepped and planned, like what I'm going to eat, I will just kind of get that all together. Today's lunch is some pasta with chicken, and I also noticed like when I was planning out my food that my fats were a little low, so that's why I'm adding a little olive oil there. Here I'm making my breakfast tortilla, PB&J tortilla. I've just really liked how easy it is to adjust the quantities of peanut butter and jelly to match my fat and carb macros, and it's delicious. So I don't think I'll change that anytime soon, unless maybe later on I realize it's causing like bloating or something like that. My snack for the day is kettle corn because I currently have a weakness for it. I think just because I can't find it anywhere else in Taiwan other than Costco. So every time I go to Costco, I see it, I feel like, oh, I really need to buy this kettle corn. It's so good. And I don't remember eating this much kettle corn in the States. But anyways, I've been making it fit my macros. Maybe I'll adjust it later, depending on how my body progress goes. I make a protein shake every morning. That's the first thing I drink in the morning to try to get it out of the way. And so this is the food that I'm bringing to work today, and I pop it all into lunchbox. Yep, that's all going with me. So I'm trying to get that protein shake done before I get to the gym. So the gym is a few minutes walk away, and usually I used to ride a U-bike, which is the shared public bikes that are around the city. But since I'm now trying to get my 10,000 steps a day, I'm making sure I'm trying to walk as much as I can everywhere. So walking to the gym to get my steps in, conveniently I can get my protein shake down and done with, so I don't have to think about it again because I still think it's gross. So I've been following my coach's advice and getting my workouts done in the morning. And it's nice because at this time, by the time I get there, I try to get there before 8. Around this time, it's pretty empty and there's a lot of space. I can get my usual workout done in around an hour. And then if I add core, it's another like 20 minutes or so. And it's kind of also on my way to work too. So my gym is in the basement of a building and there's a 7-Eleven on the first floor. So I will pick up my little morning routine is I will pick up a Red Bull, a sugar-free Red Bull to bring to the office. So once I'm done at the gym, I make my way to work. Just for the interest of time, because I do want to get to work at a reasonable hour, usually by 9:30 or at least before 10 in the morning, I will ride a U-bike, which is plenty of exercise. I think it is so hot right now in Taiwan. So yeah, I'll take a nice little easy U-bike ride over to the office. And then once I get to the office, I will immediately put my Red Bull into the freezer and then sit down and start checking some messages and doing some work while I eat my breakfast tortilla. And then at this point, I have probably cooled down enough sweat-wise that I can go change and do my makeup. Although ironically, the bathroom is not air conditioned and it's just as hot as it is outside because they have the window open. So I probably just start sweating just as much as if I were outside. So I don't know, but this is just what I've been doing the past week, and it's worked. So so I'll just change and then and then I grab my Red Bull from the freezer and it's nice and cold, and that's kind of like my equivalent of coffee. And yeah, so then I'll have my nice ice cold Red Bull and then get on with my day. Okay, and so I've gotten used to bringing my own lunch at work, and it's actually kind of hard because it's so easy to just pick up food in Taipei. Like, there are just so many convenient lunch options everywhere, and they're tasty, and it's also a social thing to go out with coworkers to eat. But I've gotten used to it, to just heating up my own food, and there are still people who bring food back and eat together in our common area, so it's not a big deal. I think I thought about it way too much before, and now it's just so easy that I will just heat up my own food and eat lunch. One of my snacks today is a protein yogurt. Like, there's 12 grams of protein in this yogurt. It's not that good if you think of it as yogurt. It's actually better to think of it more like you're eating tofu. and then maybe the tofu doesn't feel as bad. And so these are I try to space out my snacks so that I can at least have one in the afternoon. And then evenings, probably around 5:30 is when I start to head back home. Because I have my nanny, so that's great. She can go pick up the kids from daycare for me, so then I don't have to rush home. Sometimes I have meetings that are later. But I still want to make it back early so that we can still eat together and have more time. I can still have more time with the kids before they go to bed. And I have decided I have begun walking home more instead of usually I take the U-bike. But again, just in the name of the steps, trying to get my steps in. It's not a long walk, a crazy long walk home. Maybe it'll take 30 something minutes. I'm short on chicken breast for tonight, so I will, because I used the last of it for my lunch. So when I was planning the night before, I just planned to pick up a chicken breast from 7-Eleven on my way home. Dinner is pretty similar to my lunch, since I guess meal prep is kind of nice. It's just all the same, and I don't mind eating all the same food. Once the kids go to bed, I usually still get some more work done now that it's quiet and I have some more me time. My husband keeps the AC on really high because it's really hot outside, but then I get really cold inside, so that's why I'm wearing this really ridiculous bathrobe, because it's warm. I was about to get ready for bed when I realized I was so short on steps. So I just started walking some laps in my room. And alright, so I got my 10,000 steps. Yay. So then quick shower, get ready for bed, and there's my evidence. I'm in bed at 10:13, which is a huge achievement for me. My coach has been trying to encourage me to try to get 8 hours of sleep, which I don't think I've ever gotten consistently before in my life. But I will at least, I think 7 is at least a reasonable goal right now. So trying to at least be lying in bed by 10. And I've been hitting that goal more than I thought I would. So that's my day. It's not that crazy. I think prep doesn't really consume that much of it as long as I put in the time, the day before to plan out like what I'm going to eat and when I'm going to work out. So this week the scale dropped below 105 pounds a couple days, like 104.7 pounds, which is 47.5 kgs, and I'm just kind of like in shock that it's gotten so low, because it doesn't feel like, I feel like before I would feel like I'm suffering to really lose the weight. Like I'm so hungry, I'm so tired, I'm doing so much like running, I'm dropping on my carbs, and actually like you saw my 2 meals, I love eating pasta, and I don't feel hungry or drained. So it's been a crazy like process to go through with like going through prep with a coach. So shout out to Coach Jackie for making this just an awesome experience so far. And still working on my posing. I haven't practiced as much. That's something I'm still trying to work into my routine. I haven't figured out exactly where to do that during my day yet. But yeah, just as awkward as ever. Hopefully we'll have a nice before and after picture once I really nail down the posing. I know time is starting to really matter. So that was week 9. Did my 5 days of working out this week with 1,595 calories a day. And kind of you saw that my typical day, just what it looked like, doesn't really change. I guess it's fitting that I do this week, since next week I'm going to be in Bali. So not my normal schedule at all. So stay tuned for that.